nothing made sense. Like I said, I'm thirsty. Oh yeah, let me bring you water. I don't want water. Okay, Coke. I don't want Coke. Okay, wine. I don't want wine. Okay, orange juice. I don't want orange juice. So what do you want? You should know what I want. Are you crazy? So I just said, what is it?
You're asking the question.
Yeah,
Tell me.
This is a Nigerian thing that came in. So what is it? Do you want? Because it was just too much. It was like, oh, you want blood, yeah? So like, cool. So it was a hunting knife. So I got the hunting knife. Okay, here, take the blood. You know, if you're Nigerian.
Yeah.
So you know when they say, oh, what do you want? Is it blood you want?
Yeah.
Is this what,
yeah,
oh, yeah, take it.
Yeah.
Just take it. I don't care.
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of On the Sofa. You should know who I am by now, but just in case you don't, I am Rachel Onikosi, and I am absolutely happy, I think is the right word to use, that I'm sitting with a good friend of mine who I met some decades ago with me on my sofa. So it's being properly blessed today, or adding to the blessings I've already received.
Ayo Fawole.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
I was going to say,
sorry.
No.
I'm so
I was
sorry,
going to say to you,
yeah, go ahead.
Please tell the guests who you are, but you've done that. Fantastic.
Yeah. So you again, Ayo Fawole.
Ayo Fawole. I've said it 3 times now. They can't forget it. But anyway, look, thank you so much for coming. I've already let obviously the viewers know that we do know each other, but we haven't seen each other for a very long time.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I know that I would have seen you in the early 2000s, but beyond then, I can't say that I saw you past 2010. Okay. I can't say I did.
Okay.
And even between before then, I'm not sure exactly when, but so it's been a long time. That's all it is. It hasn't been recent. But welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Brilliant.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm really glad that you've come, not only because you are a good actor and you have your own podcast, but you've just got a story to tell. You've done so many different things, from my understanding. So it'd be good to kind of, get some of that out in detail and let people know who you really are. So can we start off by me asking you who you are and the various things that you do?
Well, as I said, I'm Ayo Fawole. I'm an actor. I'm a son first. I'm a father. I'm a brother. My family's really important to me. Like I said, I'm an actor, I'm a poet, I have a podcast running, soon to be an author. I'm just a man in the world trying to find his way in life, just enjoy my life, I've done a lot of different things, so many different things. Like when I remember the things I've done, it's like, I'm like, wow, I've done a lot. Yeah. And to still be on my journey and still be enjoying my journey, it's like, I thank God. Even sitting on the sofa across from you right now, I thank God for that as well, Yeah.
Why?
Because life isn't easy. We met when I was, I think, 21 or I can't remember, but it was the times back in the day where it was like almost like, don't say, like, like 3 Little Pigs. It was time to leave the house. So I left the house. I moved into a hostel, and that was the thing back then. You kind of like, you got your first little hostel, and you had your little room, and you started to become self-sufficient and learn your way in the world. And then the people who you meet along the way, like they could either they shape your future, whether they make you or break you. I met you at a very early time, and you've been a strong character ever since. Since then, you was a strong character, which is why we're still friends as well. And a strong, like encouraging character, vibrant character, and it's like over the years, you can look back and reflect because you've seen so much, so you know what to be thankful for.
Absolutely.
So that's why I thank God for meeting you and for the things that transpired in my younger years, in my entire life, basically. But to come full circle and be sitting across the sofa from you right now, you sitting there, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm in awe of you. Do you know what I mean? And I wish you all the best, everything you're doing. And I already know, like, sky's the limit. Not even stars, moves, everything's a limit.
And when we go back to when we did meet in Plaistow, in the hostel that we were both in, I remembered that I had moved, the day I moved in from my sister's. Okay. I literally met you within an hour. You were somewhere down the corridor, and it was like, oh, somebody that I can vibe with. I was like so happy. And there was another girl in there called Sharon. Sharon. Was that short one? It's shortish.
The one who always used to wear a t-shirt everywhere.
Maybe, but we met her, so we would just all be vibing. And I think we all felt, oh gosh, we've literally come out of our own manners. You came from Islington, by the way. I came from Hackney. Sharon was somewhere else, where she was, West London. And we're all here in Plaistow. And we were like, oh, we can vibe with people. So that was quite nice. But also, the point I wanted to make is that you would have never thought that back then we would be doing this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, seriously.
You know, because we've seen each other in dances or
Yeah.
festivals, whatever it might be. But
Yeah.
to sit here on a sofa, going to embark on talking about some important, serious things, things you've done in your life, decisions you've made, the ups and downs, the traumas, the hurts, the pains, the passions, whatever. Yeah. We're adults now, and this is what we do. You know, and you and I, the adults that are going to make a difference, that are making a difference to the world. I am, as much as I say to people, look, as much as I am fun and I'm very social, everything must be purposeful.
Yeah, okay.
I want to be adding value to everything I do. So if it's on the sofa with you now, I want to add value. Do you understand? So that's what my mind is about, and I hope that we're able to kind of.
We can do that. We've already added value right now by sitting across from each other and reminiscing about the times that have passed. But I'd like to say to you now, if you think about it, at that particular time, our energies were aligned, as in we was leaving home, finding our way in the world. Right now, our energies are aligned. We're trying to talk to the world and bring certain people to the forefront and have discussions and make a difference right now as well. So by, I don't know what design, things are aligned. Again, we're almost in the same, because in the corridor, you see me saying, hey, you see my podcast, you see what I do, I've watched you online and everything. To me, we're saying hey, but we said hey like talking, but we said hey through social media and stuff.
Well, they do say life's already written. So maybe, had we been in tune spiritually, we would have known this is going to happen. This was already written back then, 20 whatever years ago. You know, we're giving away our age then. But anyway, look, let's start off with you and your acting career.
Okay.
I would like to know when it began, what films you've been in or programs you've been in, and what really made you go into that kind of arena? Acting
started for me in, let's say, college. I acted in primary school. I can remember the lines from primary school. I'm not going to recite those lines for you, so don't ask me. I'll give you something a bit later for something else. But acting started for me in college, and it was a labour of love, because I studied dance. I studied media, but my passion has I've always been a vibrant person. So people were doing this production of Little Shop of Horrors, and I wasn't supposed to be in it. It was a year below me, but I've always been about everywhere I wasn't supposed to be, and I kind of put my head through the window and said, "Can I be in that?" And they let me join. And I just played a random person in the play. But the magnitude of the production, the talent that was on the stage, I actually interviewed a few people from that production on my podcast. Alan Chan, namely, he was a quarterfinalist on The Voice as well. But what I saw there and the energy it gave me, I just knew that it's what I wanted to do. And I did, I just knew it was what I wanted to do, and I loved it. I just loved it from there. And I tried constantly to keep pushing myself towards that.
So you've performed in Little Shock of Horrors. How long ago was that?
Oh, you're talking, I'm 46. I'm scared of my age, 46 now. So I must have been in my late teens, maybe 19, 20, I want to say. My recollection of years is really bad. Like, as in like time spans, but I could tell you all the stuff I've done, but I must have, I can't have been more than 20, 21. I wasn't more than 21. In fact, I was in my maybe 18, 19. I never had no kids at that time.
So what have you been in since?
Extra Work, everything. EastEnders, Holby City, The Bill, Lenny Henry. I worked with Lenny Henry. I worked with French and Saunders. Those were speaking parts. I worked with Joan Collins, which was a bit crazy. Yeah?
Tell me about that experience.
It was on Footballers' Wives. I came on as an extra, but there were parts where you could actually have featured roles and do stuff. And because I was so about, you know what I'm like already.
Yeah, of course.
I just got the directors in. I was like, can I do something? So they gave me a role of playing. Don't you remember the Carry On films? They used to have a guy who rung the gong, right? And it'd be the Rank Screen Entertainment. They got this thing where they go dung. I can't remember what it was, but you were literally in a Roman skirt. And you've got a thing, and you ring the thing.
Yes, I do remember. I do, yeah.
So I think Chucky was getting married. Chucky's another actor, Chucky Venice, I believe.
I know Chucky,
He was the leading actor in that. So he was getting married, and I think Joan Collins was trying to mess up the wedding, and I had to open the wedding. So I hit the gong and I stand there, but I've got literally nothing on. So I've got a little skirt on and a little thing like that. And we was told, don't talk to her, because you know Joan Collins is a big star and everything. She came over for the show. But she was like, oh my God, what have you got underneath that? It was just really like, that was my source.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and are you still doing Extra Work now?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
No.
Oh,
right. What's happened?
Because that was my introduction to acting. So if you're an actor, you're not an extra. You want to be a featured artist. So at the time, I just wanted to familiarise myself with sets and so on and so forth. Then I had to step back from that and say I'm actually a leading man, or I'm actually an actor. So I'm not going to be casting anything where I'm just in the background roles. I'm going to be in the forefront.
Yes.
So I had to relinquish that and then wait until I got the opportunities. And I had a few opportunities. I mean, what have I been on? It's just I remember playing Prince Aeschylus at the Harlow Playhouse.
Okay.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I worked with a guy called Mark Fenneman and Antsu, I can't remember his last name, don't kill me, but I actually got to shoot a gun off on the stage and it was amazing. So I came on stage and it's a whole Romeo and Juliet story. It's like, rebellious subjects, enemies to peace. And I'm owning the stage and I just absolutely loved it. I loved it. Then I've done the Soho Theatre, I think I've done the Mangina Monologues. Then I've just done a lot. Black Heroes actually was really good, really good. It's kind of hot in the studio and I'm here sweating.
Are you hot?
Yeah, I'm a bit hot.
Do you want to take your jumper off? Are you okay?
Yeah, I think let me take this off.
Yeah, by all means.
Then I've done Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame, which is an amazing production. It was done by the late, great Flip Fraser.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me back this.
Yeah, let's pause.
And this was, for me, it was so beneficial because this play run for years and it brought black iconic figures to the masses where we wasn't given that stuff before. Even now, people are fighting for BLM and so forth and other things, but this was happening back in the day and they was doing this, they was bringing this, they took this around the world, around the country. Fantastic. And it was such an honor to be part of it. It was just so empowering. It was such a beautiful thing. Not only being an actor, but being a black actor.
Absolutely.
And then just going on. I mean, I played multiple characters. I played Jesse Owens. Like I said, I played Mansa Musa. I played C.D. Dubois. There was just some real. And there was a conference between Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and I think Nelson Mandela. They had a thing. It was just such a vibrant play, just full of black history and stuff. It was just. I can't construe the words. It was just an honour to be part of it. What else have I done?
What year was this?
It was, like I said, I'm bad with years. I couldn't tell you. I remember we toured. I'll be really bad with the years, I'm sorry. But we done Hackney Empire, Fairfield Hall. We went up to Birmingham. But this play had gone around. It was in Jamaica, it was in New York. It had gone around for years. It's a serious production. I mean, they was trying to bring it back again, but because the director died, there was a lot of politics and stuff. Sadly, it hasn't been revamped. I hope they can revamp it now and bring to the masses what we learnt there. It spoke about everybody, almost everybody, like from Rosa Parks to Harriet Tubman to the Maasai warriors. It spoke about everybody who was influential, any black influential person, the person who designed the traffic lights, the person who created blood plasma. You know, the person who created blood plasma, the blood transfusion, died because they refused him a blood transfusion.
Can you imagine?
But I was taught that through that play, like Benjamin Banneker. Like there's so many people that I learnt about through that play, just doing that play, and that they gave to people. It was just so amazing. Yeah.
So if people want to watch that, what would they type into YouTube or into Google?
I believe J.D. Douglas was one of the creators there.
J.D. Douglas, yeah.
And he's revamping it now. So maybe if you typed in J.D. Douglas, Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Flip Fraser was director.
Yes.
Maybe you can go to the back catalogue of the Hackney Empire or Fairfield Hall. I'm not sure, but J.D. Douglas would be the first point, I think. Or Flip Fraser. Or Black Heroes in the Hall of Fame was the name of the production.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really good.
So recently now, in the last 5 years, what's your plan around being an actor?
Past 5 years haven't been as amazing for me acting wise as I'd like them to be, but it's been more of a building thing. So I've been getting towards poetry.
Oh, good.
Like to express myself, get things across, and talk to the masses. And I think within performance poetry, there's a nice gauge to kind of act and inform and have control over your art as well, and not really wait for people to give you the opportunity. Because
create those opportunities.
Yeah, create the opportunities. Yeah,
absolutely.
So because of how it's been, for me, getting through the door, and there's some amazing black actors up there now, irrespective of before they started opening the doors. There are opportunities, but sometimes, or a lot of the time, it's hard to get those opportunities. But I wasn't waiting around for those opportunities.
Absolutely.
So I started writing poetry right from the heart. Started performing it, shooting videos, and that's how I fed my acting career up until now. I still have an agent right now. Still go for auditions.
Yeah.
We've got a few productions coming up with a director called Lawrence Coke.
Okay. In terms of your poetry, how about Give Me Some Now? How do you feel? You don't have to, no pressure. It could be a couple of seconds.
You can have whatever you want. I don't mind.
Go on. I'm just intrigued.
What are we now? We're in February, aren't we?
Almost. Oh, we are, absolutely.
We're in February, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready? Which is my camera? This one here, yeah?
Please do.
We got one for Valentine's, because we're in February. We got one for Valentine's, okay?
Yeah.
It's my first love, yeah? I love it when you're thick and sticky, light and fluffy, soft and hard. I love your lubricated tin, greased down with lard. Black, white, yellow, or pink. You melt in my mouth, stick in my throat. You make me want to drink. First I lick, then nibble, then bite. I have to undo my trousers because you make my belt feel tight. My love for you hits me in a different way. I crave and hunger for you, be it night or day. Sometimes I sneak in my bed at night, which when my wife finds out, causes us to fight. Some toffee temptation or a slice of angel delight. For me, it's bliss. But for her, an uncomfortable night. So she brushes out the bed, crumb by crumb. She mumbles to herself, I should listen to my mum. Then turns to me and says, for goodness sake, there's only room for one of us. So you choose, it's either me or that bloody cake. So I smile and give her the golden handshake. This poem is a tribute to my first love. Cake.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. But it's just, yeah.
That was lovely. Yeah,
it's just
good for you.
Valentine's,
You're
you know.
good.
But I love cake.
No, that's really nice. What made you want to write? I know you sort of said, like, you know, you becoming an becoming an actor, and going into poetry. But there must have been something that made you actually want to express yourself from a personal perspective, not a script.
Yeah, it's
personal. What
it's a second nature to me, Rach.
Second nature.
I can't help it. Like, I've got a book coming out. We're sorting out the publishing now. It's a compilation of poetry, and it's just second nature to me.
Brilliant.
It just comes out of me. It's like I was on the street and it's like, you know what it's like to be me. Live how I live. See what I see. See how people see me.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what I do, others' reputations precede me.
Yeah.
It's just like being black. It's about certain things that come out of me, so I just have to talk things and let them out. You know?
I was so gonna say, you see the level of consciousness you're going to is a thing where, one, not your normal black guy that's coming from where you've come from goes there, very few. But two, it's about even if I saw you on the street and I didn't know you, I would not make the assumption he's a poet. I just wouldn't. Do you understand? I don't even know what I might think, but it wouldn't be he's a poet, he's an actor. It's often, isn't it, the perception that people have of us when they don't know us is often far removed from who we are. But we have to live with the perception because we get treated according to somebody else.
Yeah, you hit that down. Yeah.
And you might have seen me speaking on a pod. It was LITC.
Okay.
And it was talking about me and the things that I do in the corporate world, and how people perceive me outside of that world because they don't think I do the things I do. Even when I tell people, they think I'm lying. They think, oh, you're probably the admin woman, not the person that hires and fires. So I'm so understanding when you say I want to express myself but some of that is hurt and pain, isn't it?
Definitely. This is the thing for me is I feel sorry for the youth. I really feel sorry for the youth because I've been through so many different things. And I had the benefit of acting. Like I studied dance. When I was young, I was on the road, but I also said to myself, nah, I'm gonna go and do dance. My friends laughed at me when I said I'm gonna do dance. I've done contemporary, jazz, Caribbean dance, and I've performed on stages like ballet. And my friends used to laugh at me. But because of that, I never had no fear in like kind of going into myself and find out who I was. A lot of the people today, a lot of the youth today, even back in our days, they had that where people were seeing them, preconceived ideas, labeling them. And it was hard for them to break out of that. It was easy for them to adhere to that. And you know where that road goes. It's just a dark road, man. It's a horrible dark road. So it's just, it's a lot. I'm just happy I'm the man who I am. But like you said, the expression is really, really important, man. It's really important. Or understanding of oneself and not taking on board other people's energies that are projected onto you. And even when when they're not as negative as you said they were. Well, I had the thing when we was growing up, like, oh, people say, oh, you're a drug dealer, or people would want to sleep with you because you're big and black and strong. No, I'm not. I'm still I'm a human being.
And strong?
Well,
I don't know. It's a question.
Well, yeah, I am.
Black, yeah.
I am. No, I am.
Yeah,
I'm strong.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be a black man. I'm happy to be a man.
Yes.
But I'm very strong because I've had to deal with so much stuff throughout my life.
But strong physically, but also emotionally, isn't it?
Emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually as well.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
the spirit, I pride myself on trying to, like you say, being a blessing to the people I talk to. Doesn't mean I don't have problems and stuff. Doesn't mean I don't have inhibitions or shortcomings or worries and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I've understood over my years now, it doesn't help anyone for me to give them to you. Let me contradict the narrative. Let me show you something different to how I look and stuff. And also let me bless you the way I want people to bless my family, my children and everyone else. Like I love philosophy. I read a lot of philosophy.
Yeah.
And Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. There's been many times when I've said like, oh, why is that person doing that? Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Like, what's my business? Why
why don't I do something to change that? Yeah, because we can all good lip service, you know, and I think there's a lot of people doing lip service. Social media's made it worse because they're keyboard warriors. But actually, if there's a problem, even the smallest thing you can do to affect positive change, people are doing it, but they've got a lot to say. So I love what you're saying.
You have to.
Talk to me about the book release, the poetry book release. I want to know about that.
The book release is ambiguous. It's ambiguous at the moment because I'm trying to figure out my publisher, my method of publishing. The book is finished.
Right.
That's what you must know. The book is finished. I'll be hitting the stage with various poems and giving it to people. Yes. Like really giving it to you. Like
so
when I say give it to you,
launch?
The book, what's the book launch?
A listening party.
Sorry?
Listening party.
This is a book launch. We have a book launch.
Yeah.
But the book is called This Isn't Poetry. This is Therapy.
This is therapy. Wow.
Yeah. Because it's not, but I believe poetry and most things come from the space between your brain and your heart. It comes from the space which is your mouth. It comes from those two spaces, emotional and mental. You know? So everything that I've encountered, like sometimes I've encountered it or someone else has encountered it and they spoke to me about it, or I've seen it. And like throughout 2020, this whole COVID thing as well, over the years I've been around, it's just all coming out. Yeah, it's all coming out. Rather than me acting it out, I've literated it and tried to, with my words, I can help other people or let them know that this narrative they're going through, no one man is an island. Everyone goes through almost the same things, but people don't talk about it. Like, and I want to just say, being a baby father, being a father of children, I know there's many fathers out there going through stuff, and there's many mothers going through stuff, and they get things bent up and twisted. That's right. And they forget it's about the child, and then they just go through these things and they think they're the only person going through it. And some people end up doing dark things to themselves, to other people, end up in jail, and they just have to understand they're not the only person going through it. Life is hard. If you open up and maybe reach out and talk to someone or try and understand your feelings, you can reach a better plane. Yeah. Because it's not easy. I was in Chicago for 5 years. You said you never saw me from 2000 and whatever to 2016, maybe 5 years on from that, I went to Chicago and got married. I married it doesn't matter, I married someone who's famous, one of them rap people's exes. I married her, it was a bit mad for me.
You married a rapper?
Oh no, not a rapper.
A woman who was
an ex. She was in that world. Yeah, she's in that world. She's with a dude out there, like dudes, whatever the dude.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but through like the relationship and problems we had, I ended up getting sectioned in Chicago. So I had to work my way through that. So we was married, so much stuff happened to me in Chicago. That's why I lived there for 5 years. Not everybody, my close people know about it. There was loads, she tried to do some stuff online, like because she wasn't happy, just to do like some hate stuff online, which was a load of bollocks, but she done what she was doing, even after I left the country. But I got institutionalized over there. I was there for maybe, I think, it wasn't up to 2 weeks, but it was 2 weeks with no air, no outside. I was in a mental institution with mental people in another country that I don't know.
Did you have a mental breakdown? Or did they say you had one? What was going on? If you don't mind talking about it.
Well, I've already started.
You have, yeah. The detail.
Yeah, the details.
Yeah.
I think I was going through a lot of trauma at the time. So much trauma. Trauma that I probably am still dealing with now. but I've become, like in the gym, the muscles have got stronger. Yeah. So I find it's easier for me to deal with them. I'm dealing with it better and better.
Absolutely.
So it's almost like when you're trying to get six pack, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've changed my diet, I've changed my training regime, so I'm almost there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've surrounded myself with good people. But as to trauma at the time, I was going through loads of trauma. 'Cause I was in the States on my own, I never had nobody. My children were here, no friends, no family. The people that I call my friends and family were abusing me emotionally and mentally. So it was a lot. I was drinking a lot. So I was trying to medicate with drink and drugs as well.
Of course, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which I barely drink now, I don't take drugs anymore. So I've even stopped smoking, I don't do nothing no more. Really? Apart from I don't do anything no more. I might have a drink once in a while, but
I was going to say your skin looks very clean.
Yeah.
You can see.
I wash it.
Well, no, but there's a, you know what I mean? There's a tone when you smoke. Do you not know?
Okay, yeah.
Do you understand the grey?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. It's kind of dusty. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You understand what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking
clean,
about.
I can see it's going through. So, good for you.
So, but yeah, as for trauma, I went through a lot of trauma. It was traumatic, and my trauma was trying to have a relationship with someone that didn't want to have a relationship with me, that just wanted to be an enemy to progress. So it was almost like banging my head against a brick wall. Yeah. So when what I was given wasn't reciprocated, and I never knew any other way to vent it, I kind of drank and internalized. And then when I was challenged or being abused, kind of thing, the straw that broke the camel's back. It's like, I'm a Nigerian, and Nigerians will get this. I don't care where you are. Like, after a while, enough is enough. So this one, she was doing shakara. She was doing this kini for me, right? Like, where you going? What you doing? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, but I was more, how can you say, I allowed certain things to slide because I was on the whole, I'm married, I need to be a good husband, I need to try and make this thing work. I went over there to pursue my acting career. So I didn't want to come back without achieving what I needed to achieve. So when faced with adversity, I said, let me work. Let me try and work it through. Okay, all right. Do you understand what I'm saying? But in that other person, that's all right, let me take more of the piss. So she got to fever pitch. And it's like, she was doing some madness. I'm like, what is it you want? Because nothing made sense. Like, I said, I'm thirsty. Oh yeah, let me bring you water. I don't want water. Okay, Coke. I don't want Coke. Okay, wine. I don't want wine. Okay, orange juice. I don't want orange juice. So what do you want? You should know what I want. Are you crazy? So I just said, what is it?
You're asking the question.
Yeah,
Tell me.
This is a Nigerian thing that came in. So what is it do you want? Because it was just too much. It was like, oh, you want blood, yeah? So they're like, cool. So it was a hunting knife. So I got the hunting knife. Okay, here, take the blood. You know, if you're Nigerian, so you know when they say, oh, what do you want? Is it blood you want?
Yeah,
Is this take it. Just take it, I don't care. And that's what went through me at the time.
Wow.
So you see the scar right here.
Oh, bless you.
Right? The scar's right there. Wow. So I cut, because you're a hunting knife, when I cut it.
Big hands.
What? Yeah. Don't let me slap you.
No pun intended. Please. Go on.
So I've hit it like, because it was just sheer frustration. Like I come home from work, I was working, giving her all my money from work to run the household and all that. Because when I was there first, I was at work, I just took my money with me. So just giving her everything, did everything the right way, but it still wasn't enough.
Okay.
So it just got to the point where I said, no, I said, what is it? And I've done that now, go on, do you know something?
So tell me, how did you meet this lady?
So I had a film, I can't remember the name of the film. I believe, I don't know, it could have been, what was it? Was it Melvin? It could have been Melvin. It might, I'm not sure if it was Melvin Chronicles of a Player, which was done by a director called Lawrence Koch, amazing guy, because that went to LA. Yeah. Another film called Say My Name, that was done by a director called Kofi, I don't know his last name. And another film called Ragtag that went to LA. And so at these three films, these three films went to LA. I went to LA to promote these films. I forgot, I've done a few films as well. We haven't spoken about the films I've done, but it's another story. So whilst on the red carpet, at LA promoting the films, met her. It was crazy though, because like, she's fine as hell, so beautiful. Don't be fooled by the superficial stuff in life. I'm telling you guys out there. So
but you say that because you know better now. Yeah. But let's be honest, Aya, you could walk out and see a beautiful woman, you'll still glance because you're seeing a beauty. So I think that's okay. But people have to get to know the interior before you can decide whether or not.
Definitely, and you have to understand. That's not the be all and end all. You have to have levels and values and standards, and that's what it is. Because I've got levels of values and standards now. If I see a beautiful woman, I can say, "Oh, she's a beautiful woman. It's fantastic, nice." I don't need to have her. I don't need to sacrifice all I've got to get with her, and I don't need to just like.
Have you been looking at my personality questions?
No, what are your personality questions?
You'll see when we come to the end. Go on, carry on.
It's not necessary, but this comes with trial and error, mistakes, learning, knowing yourself. knowing your own self-values. Because I say there's a lot of guys out there, they're just like, sorry for the want of a better phrase, walking dicks. Because they see it, they want to go for it. But it's not that, because like as you're seeing now, the person never ruined my life, but they could have. But so you can incur a problem just looking at the superficiality. And as you get older, you realise it's got to be deeper than that.
Of course, but I don't think there's been any time in history where beauty is equated to intelligence or sensibility or having high values. It's not equated. Beauty's one standard, but there's all these other standards and values and morals. And I think what happens is, unfortunately, in some communities, some cultures, is that the beauty standard is the first and foremost. Because I accept somebody to see somebody and be attracted to them, but then there's all the other standards that need to kind of come into play to make things happen. Certainly a relationship or a marriage that you were in. But then, isn't it?
You have to look at history. Yes, definitely. But you have to look at history as well.
Yeah.
Beauty has ruined nations. It's just being based. Helen of Troy. You got Cleopatra. Certain kings of like King Henry VIII would kill the first wife to get with the other wife. Do you know what I mean? Because he sort of be, I want her. Let me kill. This is his wife in her. He would put his wife in the tower so he could be with another woman. And that was superficial. That was just the basic male instinct or the basic like animal instinct. Do you know what I mean? You have to have control over that. But you're absolutely right as well. Unless you work up on different spectrums. You're a fool. It's almost like falling in a hole. It's
but I guess as humans we learn, don't we, and we evolve and we understand that, you know, beauty is just one standard.
Yeah.
And do I really want to be a really handsome man and that's all he's got to offer? Do you understand what I mean?
What is that really though?
Exactly, and that's the question.
That's nice.
But, so you met on the red carpet. You then obviously start courting, presumably.
Yeah.
So how soon do you get married after meeting?
I think we met in March. No, we met in maybe February. Got married in March, something like that.
So that was love at first sight.
Yeah, so I would say.
Clearly, if not, why did you get married?
No, it was more of because we met in the industry. We met, right? Because when we met, she was an author, I'm an actor.
Yeah.
So we met, and it's not only did we have the physical attraction and the sexual attraction and the kind of like we thought there was a real chemistry. I thought there was real chemistry there. There was also the aspiration to do better. So you see it now in so many different walks of places, power couples. So I enhance you, you enhance me, we go on this journey together. So that was part of it as well.
Yeah.
We sat down, we spoke, so I was thinking we could go on this journey together. I'm here in London, remember, I'm an actor and everything, but to go over, and I had films going over there regularly. Me and a few friends, we had, like I said, there's 3 different films. There was over on numerous occasions, so I was in and out of America for a span of maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
So it seemed like the next right thing to do, do you know?
Yeah.
And that was more of it. It wasn't just love at first sight or let me just throw it up in the air. It was more also a power move, a movement in life to move forward.
Absolutely. In hindsight now, do you realise that maybe had you spent 3 or 4 months getting to know her and dating her, then a different decision would have been made about marriage?
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
But there's also like, and I slightly regret it, but I don't regret it either.
You learnt so much.
Because I am who I am right now, sitting on the sofa across from you.
Talking about it.
I may not have been this person, because talking about it, not just talking about it, going through that made me the person I am now.
Yeah.
it has to be something
you embrace
for
your
that.
Experiences.
Yeah, we have to as human beings. We have to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because all we have is right now. And without what I've gone through, I wouldn't be sitting across from you right now. Okay. I may not have I got stabbed how long ago? Yeah. I may not have acted correctly in that situation. I may have gone to jail. I may have got killed in that situation. But whatever, not just that, helped me to a certain point mentally and emotionally to deal with this as well as other stuff. So it could have been the school. So I was getting schooled. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
So you need that schooling. I'm not advocating anybody's just to jump in. Take your 4 months, learn about the person, do your due diligence, do your homework. Yeah. But for me, I'm here now and I'm sitting here, and like I wish 1 or 2 things were different.
Yeah.
But I'm still sitting here.
Absolutely.
I'm in control of so much, so I'm happy.
How old were you at the time?
We're talking like about 6 years. There 6, 7 years, about 31, 32.
31. So you've grown enough.
Yeah.
And I want to just quickly talk about being institutionalized.
Yeah.
So you get sectioned.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Under what? Is it psychosis?
Mental health. No, what happened was, let me break it down for you. So we've done the cut, Argument, gone to the hospital now, because when I've cut it, it's gone down to the bone. Wow. So you've got skin, you've got flesh, then you've got this yellow stuff like which is cells, I don't know what, fat tissues. Then you got another, I don't even know what's underneath that. Then you got the blood, like the bone, but it was squirting, like it's all that. So when I've gone to hospital for them to do this, it's a serious injury. They've gone to hospital, they said, what's happened?
And
like,
how
did you get this? I said, like, I was so upset. I said, look, mate, fucking argue with the wife, right? I didn't want to cut her throat. I was, do you know, like, I'm not violent to women.
That in itself, they're going to say you're mad anyway.
There you go. This is what happened, because I didn't want to cut my wife. I said it like that. I was talking really, really cockney as well. I didn't want to cut my wife's throat because she pissed me off. We was arguing, but I'm not that kind of guy. So what I did, I done it to myself, say, it's all right. He goes, oh, yes, okay, oh, yes. Well, that's self-harm, isn't it? Yeah, so, sorry, we're going to have to take you upstairs. I'm like, what? Them times there in America, it's not like here, you know? I was supposed to take all your clothes. Like, so I'm in A&E, like, I only had pants. So when they told me to take him upstairs, I said, nah, sir, they got security. I got up, I walked out the hospital. I could have gone, I went out, the way they come and bum rush me to come back inside, I was gonna leave, like literally leave. You're not holding me, but they keep you there, they hold you in the hospital. People with straps come, no, you're not going nowhere, and I've brought myself in. So then they put me in a thing like Hannibal Lecter.
Wow.
After one night, I swear, no whatever lie, they strapped me in a thing like this. I was strapped from head to toe.
Yeah.
Like that, up until they took me to the place where they was taking me. They had me in the bed like that.
Of course.
And they wouldn't let me move. And then they took me, go on.
Can I ask a question then?
Go on.
At the time, now can you say at the time, were you suffering from anything which constitutes mental health, in your opinion, now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you was.
I think mental health is something that everyone suffers from all the time. You've either got healthy mental health or unhealthy mental health.
Yeah.
We all suffer from mental health at the time.
Yeah, but specifically, were you of sound mind at the time? In your view, now you obviously learned from that.
Nah, I wasn't, because like I'm saying, I was there on my own. I was wanted for so much and I was getting abused. So when I'm giving you, and this happens to people here in relationships, it's almost like, let me put you plain like this. Imagine you're my wife and you come home. And I'm your husband, I come home, you make me dinner. And you put your heart and soul into dinner. And I'm like, whatever, I'll have chips. That's abuse. Do you understand? If that's certain things done constantly to people, you start questioning yourself and having problems with inside your head. Yeah. And that's mental health from that abuse.
Yeah, of course.
And that is how it's happening to people out there now and they don't realise.
And do you know what it is? Obviously, mental health is a real serious issue amongst our community. We know that. But you know what? I'm sitting there and I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, the IO that I met at 21 in Plaistow, in that hostel, who was all about it, big and strong, hard-headed, empowered, loud and all the rest of it. Yeah. Even I'm hands up to my own kind of estimation about the fact that I'm thinking, how did he allow a woman to make him? But that's not the right thing, because the bottom line is anybody's susceptible to mental health. Yeah, exactly. So I'm questioning myself, basically.
Yeah, no, it happens, and it just changes when your ethos in life changes, when your goals, aspirations, when the people you want to align yourself with. All you have to do is align yourself with someone who hasn't got your best interest at heart.
Yeah, no.
And they can just twist up your brain anyhow they want. If they're twisted, they make you twisted, like slowly but surely. And you sometimes, because you're so much in love or so much into them, or you believe in them so much, you won't even see what they're doing. And it's happening so much with the younger people right now. I
have a pod coming out with Sarah Garvey. You know Sarah Garvey, the social commentator. And in that we talk about relationships. He went through a difficult time with his fiance at the time, because she went and got married or met a man in another country. When she was going on holiday with her mum and her sister, they were all kind of privy to all of that happening while he was here looking after their children. But I talk on the pod about the fact that even in my own social circles, I see people that I love dearly getting involved in relationships which have absolutely nothing to do with their standards and morals and values. And before I would probably call it, you've lowered your standard. But I don't think that's it. All I'm saying is your standards are not aligned. You are different people. So there's little compatibility there. You are going to have problems. And when the problems arise, you just want to say, I told you so. But then everybody conceptualizes things differently. Yeah. Do you understand? But, so I'm just kind of, I guess, strongly agreeing with you around the fact that you get with this woman, you think it's love, because things were aligned. You're both in the same industry. You're both talking the same things. She's
older than me. She presents mature
you as well. Yeah, absolutely.
Come on. It's how people present. So you imagine you're a horse and you got someone who's a donkey, but they're presented as a horse, and then really they're a donkey, but you don't find out until later down the road. But Yeah. So I went in there, was there. I think going there was better for me than being at home at the time.
Right.
That's serious, you know.
No, absolutely.
Being institutionalized was better for me than being at home at the time. 'Cause I was at home on my own. She'd be out for 3-4 days, like whatever. I just only had my own thoughts to harp upon.
Be out doing what? 3-4 days. Where's she staying?
I don't know.
What woman does that?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So talk to me then. That in the year you got sectioned was what year?
I want to say, like I said in the beginning of the show, I'm not good with years, so.
Roughly, I'm just trying to work out.
Okay, so you talk about 10 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
About 10 years. So after I got section, upon coming out, saw myself come back to London. A couple of months, I'll come straight home.
That was my point. When you get back to London, what do you then do? I mean, I suppose what I should be asking is, have there been any further instances of you being sectioned in the UK?
Oh, no.
So it's purely that incident with that woman, what happened in America?
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
But also very interesting, isn't it? Because that one person can drive you to a place which I probably would have never gone if you were with even a woman in the UK. No,
it couldn't happen in the UK.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You understand? Because I had an infrastructure.
That's
even
right.
you ain't around, I could have phoned my friends. My friend over there, I could phone people. You spend time with your brother, your sister, you talk.
Absolutely.
And they would have said, oh, you know what, she's doing this.
Peoples.
She's doing this, that, and the third. They would have been like, what? My friend, come out of there. Like at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Or at the inkling. That's why you have to have a nice infrastructure. Like you said, how could a woman do what was done to me? If I would have come and said, Rach, you know what, I'm not having a good time, you'd be like, ayo, come out of there. We're okay. Because there was nowhere to go. It's like it was happening constantly.
Just like isolation, isn't it? You're isolated. And she had her links, had her people, that's her surroundings, infrastructure and stuff.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It was a lot. But
thank you for admitting that, because obviously us planning for you to come down there, I didn't know anything about that mental health issue. But what I would say on camera is that my family, or some of my family, are susceptible to mental health. So I've got people close that I know that go through episodes of schizophrenia and psychosis. So it's real. And it can happen to the strongest of us, the most intelligent of us.
Yeah,
I know that.
It happens.
You know, and I always make a joke about how insane I am, but I make a joke of it because there's things that I do that the average person wouldn't be brave enough to do and put it out there.
Yeah.
You understand? But that just demonstrates how sane I am, because I can joke about it.
Yeah.
When you are actually going through an episode, you don't think you're going through mental health. You actually think you're sane.
Yeah.
Do you understand? That's
Yeah.
You know?
You try and label it with something else.
Yeah.
Try and blame it on something else, or even maybe some people self-medicate. You use things to distract you from it. There's so many things, so many different like vehicles or things that people do. But you have to be honest with yourself and like ask for help and reach out for help.
I'm gonna have to really do maybe some sort of workshop on mental health, like launch from On the Sofa.
Let's do one together.
Yeah, maybe we could do a Zoom. Maybe we can kind of arrange like an event that we put on Eventbrite and get people to come on.
Let's do it.
And that would be nice.
Let's do it. I've got something coming up already, to be honest with you. Good, but let's collaborate. I mean, the more people we reach, to me, it's the better.
Absolutely.
It's not just about my notoriety or getting to a certain place. It's about helping people.
Absolutely.
Basically, that is about helping people. Because there's people right now that are in their house, they're under pressure, there's problems, and they're close to suicidal, they're close to whatever. And it's not fair.
Yeah.
If you need help, human beings should help each other. As far as I'm concerned, that's the way forward. That's the only way forward for everybody.
Yeah. Do you know when I first thought about launching On the Sofa? One of the things that I wanted to do was kind of like a On the Sofa safe space. So like have a 2-hour window in my diary for anybody on Instagram, if they want to talk about an issue, just to come and talk about it to somebody who doesn't know you.
Yeah.
Where you can just kind of offload and talk about it. But
it's valuable.
Since then, I just haven't had the time to do that.
It's very valuable.
Look, we've spoken about your acting career. We've spoken about your poetry and the books coming out. We haven't spoken about your Life Talks podcast.
Okay.
Admittedly, and I hope you've seen that I have watched it.
Oh, yeah.
And I have made comments.
No, you're amazing. You're very supportive. I love you for that.
They just keep the pop up when they seem to pop up on YouTube when I've literally got 15, 20 minutes. Because normally, you're just so busy, you can't stop and watch a YouTube podcast, which has lost an hour. But they just popped up, had time, and I've
Thank you very
watched
much.
it. One that I really liked was when you had that
Ghanaian man?
teacher transformed into an actress. Anyway, so you've got this podcast. Talk to me about your reasons, your rationale for launching
okay, my rationale was launching. It started off with my team, amazing team, Big J, the Wizard, also AKA Mac. Big up to you guys, love you. Don't really mess up the mic, sorry.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to meet both of them because I went to En Route to Clarity podcast, didn't I?
Okay. That's nothing to do with me. That's nothing to do with me. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, so I've met both of them.
But those guys had conversations with me. They had the facilities to facilitate stuff. And they said to me, come and do it. They kept telling me to do it, asking me to do it and do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, still dealing with stuff when I came back. And then I decided to do one. And when I did the first one, I found not only did I enjoy it, but it was also a way to help the person. The first one was a guy who was shot with a shotgun on his doorstep. Don't know who shot him, in his arm. And he had, he was a young guy as well in his 20s, and they skin grafted his leg to his arm. And upon hearing his story and knowing who I am, I realised I just met him on random in the street. I talk to people everywhere, and life talks to everyone if you're prepared to listen.
Absolutely.
And that's the concept. Life talks if you're prepared to listen. So everyone's got a story.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, and everyone's got a story. So, because I'm so out there and I talk to so many different people from so many different walks of life, I'd like to bring their stories out because we pass people in the street all day, every day, and they're actually literally wells of information. You're how old? I'm not going to say, but all your years, all that information, all the stuff you've done, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
But we don't, as human beings, celebrate
25. But
Okay, 21, beautiful.
Thank you.
Looking good. But I mean, we're too involved in how this person looks, how this person does that, or whatever, rather than sitting down and talking and finding out, okay, we're actually the same. You've done some of the same things I've done, or you came from here, and wow, you've like I had an opera singer on the other day, and I've done opera. Not sung it, but I've acted on an opera stage. I forgot that, the Glyndebourne Opera House.
Right.
And I was talking to a doctor, because I work in a hospital, and we started talking about opera and then the Glyndebourne, and it's just the conversation just grew. And I just feel when people stop and just have genuine conversations, don't be condescending, don't be looking down at people, don't judge you by the first thing you see. You can find out so much stuff and it can enhance your life, make you feel better, and it's enlighten you. And that's the concept behind Life Talks. Fantastic. Because everyone's got a story, and everyone's life is interesting in one way or another.
Is the offer open for me to still come along and
absolutely, please
talk about my life?
Please, please, I want you to. I want to turn it on his head because I didn't even notice I started sweating at first when you started asking me questions. It wasn't even lights.
Why you sweat? It's just me.
I know, but you're a strong, vibrant, intelligent black woman. You're amazing. You're amazing. Seriously, you're amazing. And it wasn't that I was scared of you or anything like that. It's like I just wanted to get it right. I didn't want to get it wrong with, so maybe first, and I'll be honest, like I got a little bit nervous, so I just took the thing off and I was sweating, but it's lovely. I want you on the show and I'm going to grill you, probably flip you like a pancake and grill you the other side, and then let's do the whole mental health thing as well. Let's get that going as well.
That'll be good, that'll be very good.
But that's the concept of it, and also this is it hasn't got an end. Yeah. There's no end to Life Talks. Because life ends for one person, but it starts for another. Absolutely. Like all the time. So that's the concept. It's going to grow and grow and grow.
So and that's exactly what I said about on the sofa. It's nobody wants I don't want a viral moment. I just want longevity of the show, whereby it's changing people's lives. People feel empowered when they watch different conversations. They get an idea from the conversation. They feel like they could better win in society. They feel like they can, think about solutions to their problems after watching how we talk, how we analyse, how we dig deep, how we go down and do a deep dive into things.
Is the thing.
That's what this show's all about, and I think Life Talks is very similar.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're talking now.
For me, right, Rachel, and I'm doing it to get the stage, to do what I need to do and have the platform and so on and so forth. But if it was, and I swear to God, hand on heart, if it was the toss-up between it being able to help people out there and change their lives, or me getting the hits and the views and all that, I take that one first every time.
All day.
Every time.
All day.
And that's me. I'm more